Hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So I did get through probation. Yay! Okay, so I made it through probation, which is a big deal, especially as a new hire flight attendant. And I just wanted to come on here and give y'all some tips on how to survive probation, and also just give you some tips on how to move about as a new hire flight attendant, because I feel like personally in training, of course they kind of told you a little bit about what it would be like on the line, but they didn't give you the rundown, and that's what I'm here for. All right, so probation, as for me, well, for my company, we get 6 months of probation, right? And this is 6 months after you graduate, where you only get 2 chances to do something wrong. So I wouldn't say it's like 2 points or 2 occurrences where you can do something wrong, but that's it. 2 and you're gone. Okay, 2 and done in 6 months. So that means you can't be late. Those same rules pretty much that you had to follow during probation, like as far as piercings, 1 ring on each hand. For my company, one ring on each hand, you know, 1 watch, 1 bracelet, having your company phone charged, updated, just being on time, stuff like that. What your uniform, being in compliance, pretty much. But things like that, you only get 2 opportunities to mess up, and then you're gone. Like, they don't give you any more after that. So of course that's a big accomplishment if you can make it through your 6 months without getting kicked out, pretty much. So these are some of my tips that I feel like y'all should know getting through probation, and then I'll kind of help y'all or give y'all some tips on how to move and maneuver as a new hire flight attendant. Okay, so number 1, everything that you learned in training, stick to it. Even though you're out of training, that doesn't mean you're free to do whatever you want, and you can wear your nose ring, and you can put on a whole bunch of rings, and your nails can be long. That doesn't mean that. When you're out of probation, everybody, as far as management, they know you're on probation, which means they can see, I mean, you know, we all have employee numbers and seniority numbers. If you don't know that, you know that. But they can see, oh, this is employee, their seniority is 30,000, whatever the numbers are right now. They know that you're brand new. And for probation, there's like a little indicator. When you're on probation, there's an indicator that lets everybody else know that you're on probation. So it's not a secret. You don't really blend in like you think you blend in, even though we're wearing the same thing. Everybody knows you're on probation. Okay, so, and everybody knows you're on probation. Some people be snitching. Some people snitch. Okay, so you don't want to end up working or thinking, you know, you slide through the cracks because you haven't seen your manager. There are some flight attendants who will snitch on you. This is real tea. Get into it. Okay, so let's just make sure you're always in compliance. You know what you need to do, you know what you're supposed to do. Wear your name tag, wear your wings because you worked for it. You worked for those wings. I know you worked for those wings, so wear them. Wear your name tag. Just come to work ready. Okay, that's 1. 2, save your money. Okay, when you're out of probation, for me, I'm used to getting paid. Like, I'm that girl who worked 2 jobs. I'm the girl who always got a little something on the side. But with this job, I feel like I've been constricted to just work this job. I haven't really, you know, I mean, you can do a little side job, Ship, Instacart, DoorDash, whatever, but it's kind of hard, especially once you're out of probation, to get a side job or a side hustle initially. So I would say save your money. Okay, when you get out of training and you get to your crash pad or your hotel, whatever, save as much as you can, budget as much as you can. Okay, and that leads me to my next point about when you're in probation. Pack your bags ahead of time before you have to report to work. pack your bags the night before. If I know I'm on call for tomorrow, I'm gonna pretty much have my bags packed the night before. And pack your lunch. Pack your lunch. I'm telling you, it will save you so much money. Airport food is higher than what it would be on the street. If you pass a McDonald's, that number one could be what, $9.99, $9.89, $10. In the airport is $15. So save your money and pack your lunch. Like, just go ahead and meal prep. If you wasn't into meal prepping, get into it. I have a lunch bag that I carry with me. Let me show you. This is the lunch bag that I carry with me for work. It's pretty big. It has a lot of storage, and I pack this baby up. Okay. I'll have that linked in my. I'll have it linked in my Amazon. It's by LifeWit. Let me show y'all that. It's by LifeWit, but I'll have that linked in my Amazon storefront. I will do a video on how to pack my lunch bag for work. But that's really important, y'all. To save your money, make sure you pack food, because it can get pricey, especially if, let's say for example, you're at a hotel. Every hotel don't have free breakfast. Every hotel don't have a restaurant downstairs. Every restaurant is not in a prime location where you can get Uber Eats delivered to your hotel. That happened to me not too long ago. I was at a hotel trying to order food, and I guess it was just too far, but they weren't delivering there. So bring your food. Trust me. Trust me. And snacks. We love snacks. Bring your snacks. Bring your chips, your tuna, your fruits. Bring food. And I feel like for me, I think it helps me eat healthier when I'm on the road. Sandwiches. I'll make a video for y'all to show y'all what I pack for my lunch. I already said to pre-pack your bags the night before, pre-pack your lunch, and have your uniform already ironed and ready to go. For me, I need to buy more stockings. But if I know I'm going to wear a skirt or a dress, I already have my stockings hanging up on my hanger with the dress or with the skirt that I'm going to wear for the next day. Your shirts, have that ironed. If you're gonna wear your sweater or your blazer, I would recommend putting your wings and your name tag already on it so it's ready to go. If you know wherever you're going, it may be cold, it's a possibility that it'll be cold, don't forget to bring your coat. I would say leave it across your suitcase so you're ready. Leaving early. Leaving early, okay? So I don't know about you, but let's say with my base, we have a 2-hour call out time. Now there are some bases that have a 3-hour call out time, right? So for example, what time is it now? It's 5:57, it's almost 6 o'clock. So let's say for example, ring, it's scheduling, and they call me, it's 6 o'clock. Let's say 6 o'clock, it's 6 o'clock, and I have to report at the airport for 8 o'clock, right? Okay, cool. I'm acknowledging my trip. They tell me where I'm going. They tell me what position I am. It's 6 o'clock, and I have to report at the airport for 8. I live about 20 minutes away from the airport. So for me, my goal is to leave 1 hour before I have to be at the airport. That way it gives me enough time to get through traffic if there is any traffic. It gives me enough time to eat before I leave the house. So I have an hour. It's 6 o'clock. I'm leaving at 7. My clothes are ready. My bags are packed. I already prepared my lunch or dinner for my trip, my snacks. Everything is already prepared. So now I just have to get dressed, brush my teeth, do my makeup, do my hair, get dressed, pack my lunch bag, get my bags ready to go, and I'm on the road. And I have time to eat. I like to eat before I leave the house. That way when I get to the airport, I'm not tempted to grab Chick-fil-A or grab a personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut or grab some Bojangles. Like, I'm just not tempted because I ate already, and The only thing I may stop and get once I get to the airport is like maybe Starbucks or like an energy drink, something like that. But give yourselves, prepare yourselves so that you have enough time to be at the airport and just relax before you have to get on the plane. I promise you, you'll never know when that extra time is needed. You know, for me, I don't drive straight to the airport. I drive to our parking lot and we have to wait on the shuttle. So let's just say the shuttles are behind this day. Because you're on time, you have time to kind of, you know, you have at least 10 minutes, 10, 15, 20 minutes to wait on a shuttle, or it don't take that long for me. But just in case, you have time for hiccups, traffic, just little thing. Even if you want to stop and get something to eat before you head to the airport, you have that time because you left an hour early. Oh, and while I'm speaking on leaving early, okay, come closer. I want y'all to really listen, okay? When you are in probation versus when you are out of probation, especially when you're working with senior people, the rules may be a little different, or they may move a little different, right? So let's say you get to the airport, you clock in on time. Make sure you are also on time at the gate. Okay, everybody have, I'm sure every company has their time frames to where you have to be on the plane before boarding starts, right? Whatever your company's time is, that could be departure, you have to be on the plane before D50, D32, D35, whatever that time you have to be on the aircraft before boarding, make sure you're on time and scan for that. Because for my company, although you sign in on time, you can also get an occurrence while you're on probation for scanning in at the gate late. Don't forget, make sure you're on time when you scan in at the airport, and also make sure you're on time when you scan in at the gate, okay? And this brings me to my next point. Once you get to your hotel and you get to your layover, right? You know, you also have to, for your next flight, once you leave your layover hotel and you have to be back at that airport. A lot of times the out of probation flight attendants, I would say senior, mostly senior, they would like to leave at the very last minute. They like to catch the airport shuttle back to the hotel at the very last minute, okay? When you're on probation, I do not recommend that. Whatever time the hotel has laid out for you to leave that shuttle, for your shuttle time, leave at that time. Don't push it back. Or for example, if they, you know, the other flight attendants say, okay, van time is 5:30. Let's push it back to 5:45. Stand up for yourself and say no because you're on probation. Because those 15 minutes can make a big difference from you being late when you sign in at the gate. Okay? Don't let, even pilots, like the pilots and the flight attendants, we work together, but we're not on the same contracts. So the pilots can literally walk on the plane 2 minutes before we fly off, you know what I'm saying? But of course, like I said, every company has their time where the flight attendants have to be on board before boarding. Follow your rules. Follow what you was taught in training. If you know you have to be at the airport a certain amount of time before departure, do that. Don't let older flight attendants or pilots change that, because you will be affected and they probably have a bank point to something that can take off that point. Okay, a bank point. While I'm here, let's say you're working for like a holiday, Christmas, you know, those really important times where we're needed at work, Christmas, New Year's Eve, Thanksgiving. You're given like a bank point, like a free point, you know, whatever. When you're in probation, that bank point doesn't apply. So for example, I come to work and I have my nose ring in, and a manager comes and he said, oh, you have that nose ring in. I can't say, oh, I have a bank point because I work for Thanksgiving. Oh, I have a bank point because I work for Christmas. That doesn't apply to you because you're in probation. Crazy, right? Exactly. That doesn't apply to you. My company, we do have a union. The union can't really help you until you're out of probation. Exactly. Exactly. So another one of my tips I would recommend is reading your contract. Read your contract. Read read your contract. I'm not playing, because there are people who work for the company but they don't work in your role. So they can get over on you because you don't know your contract. Gate agents, pilots, scheduling, people like that. Although we work for the same company, we all aren't under the same contract. So you can get messed over for not knowing your contract. You know what I'm saying? Example, gate agents. Let's say we're boarding in 10 minutes, right? The gate agent, hey, a lot of people have to make their connections. Can we board early? No. Because I have to follow my contract. Boarding time is at a certain time. I have to follow my contract. Pilots. Hey, I'm trying to hurry and make it home for my flight, so go back home. Or I'm sure y'all want to make it home early. Can we board early? No. No, you know what I'm saying? So follow your contract and understand the rules to your contract. You don't want to get a call from management, or you don't want to follow your contract. Like I said, I feel like in training they didn't really prepare us for our daily operations of being a flight attendant. So I just kind of want to give, especially if you're in training, you'll definitely understand this, or even when you get out of training. Position 1, lead flight attendant role. I feel like that is one of the most stressful, anxiety filled positions if you've never worked it. And I just kind of wanted to put y'all mind at ease that it's really not that bad. It's really one of the easiest positions once you get familiar with it. But I recommend that while you're in training, especially while you're in training, and you have people around you who you can practice these things with, practice your daily operations, or of what you would do if you were on a clock. Okay, now I'll just tell you my run through. Okay, so okay, let's say I'm on call for tomorrow. Tonight I will put my work phone on the charger. I do have an Apple Watch, so I will put my Apple Watch on the charger. Also, with my work phone, I will update it. I would check for any updates that it needs. I would sync everything that needs to be synced. Read my emails, update my phone, do all of those things that I need to do on my phone, and make sure I'm ready to go for the next day, right? And even double check my schedule. I would also pack my suitcase. I like to pack for different temperatures. So who knows, I could get a call to where I'm going to Cancun, somewhere warm, Miami, wherever. So I'll usually have like a pair of shorts. I always pack a bathing suit. I always have a long sleeve shirt, maybe even like a jacket, like a little sweater, jeans, sneakers, and maybe like my Crocs. So always pack and have your things ready the night before. Toiletries, makeup, I already have that packed. If I cook, usually I try to cook before I get on call. So I'll have all of my meals prepped, what I'm going to bring to work, snacks, fruit, in Ziploc bags, whatever. I like to have all of that prepared in the refrigerator the night before. Uniform, like I said, have my uniform ironed, ready in a closet, ready to go. Shoes that I'm going to wear the next day. Coat, if it's cold outside, I'll have that ready. My hair most likely be prep, whatever. So yeah, that's just prep, right? For me, sometimes, for the most part, I do like the overnight wrap. So that would usually start at 3 a.m. As a new hire, if you have one of those call times, this is what I recommend, because this is what I do. Just so I don't miss a call from scheduling, or I don't miss a trip assignment. I wake up, if I'm asleep, I am going to wake up every 2 hours. I'm going to set my alarm every 2 hours so that I'm up, especially if it's that time of night. So I go on call at 3 a.m. I'll have a 3 a.m. alarm, 5 a.m. alarm, 7 a.m. alarm. You get it? I would have those alarms just set up at intervals until I actually wake up. I can sleep like that. That works for me. Just so that, you know, I can kind of watch the call out time and just see where I am on the list, when they may call me, and I'm ready for my shift. I like to do that. So that way I'm ready if they call me. So let's say they assign me a trip, right? Like I said, make sure you have, some bases have 2 hours, some bases have 3 hour call out time. I get dressed. If they call me, they assign me a trip. I get dressed, pack my bags, pull out that by the door. I check and see what position I'll be for the day. I head out, decompress. I'm not rushing, so I'm not speeding. I make it to the airport. I sign in, find out what gate I'm going to. I go to my gate. I'm there in enough time to where I'm not rushing. I sign in at the time that I'm supposed to sign in. Once I get on the aircraft, introduce myself to my other flight attendants that I'll be working with and the pilot. I check my phone and figure out what my safety checks are going to be. Do my safety checks, find out my boarding position, where I'm going to store my bags, and bags stored. And so, you know, now I'm just waiting for boarding. And while I'm waiting for boarding, I think that is the perfect time where you can go over your security drills. So like if you had to evacuate, if there was a land evacuation or a water evacuation, what would be your role? I think that is really important because, you know, of course in training you do these drills and they kind of like, they're already in your head. But once you're out on the line, you have to be prepared just in case an emergency truly happens. You know what I'm saying? You got to be prepared for these things. So I think that is very important when you have that time before boarding to review your land and water evacuation skills. And also medical, whenever you have time, like especially while you're on the clock, you know what I'm saying, and you have time before you board, look over some medical procedures. I've noticed that a lot of the times, if I have like an overnight flight that so we're flying like into a new, when we're flying into a new day, those 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock departure times, and you're flying into like a new day, or like it's an early morning flight, y'all, I don't know what it is about that. I don't know if people medicine don't have enough time to kick in or whatever, but that's usually when I see like medical emergencies. You know, a lot of people take blood pressure and like diabetes, you know, they take that kind of medicine. So make sure you are reviewing your medical procedures. You know where your emergency kit is at, your oxygen tanks, you know, your kits. Like that is something you should familiarize yourself with when you have that time, because y'all, it happens. Like that type of stuff happens, and I just pray that I'm never on a flight where, you know, it's a true life or death situation, but it happens. And I think it's important that you should be prepared when you have that time to look over that information. For us, it's in our phone. So make sure you know how to get to that type of information when you need it. Even for yourself, if you're on a layover or whatever and you have a medical emergency yourself, know which numbers you need to call. So I think those are some of the things that I think is important. Those are the tips that I have, and especially trying to get through probation, please listen to those tips, y'all. I swear, once you're out on the line, you're gonna be like, yeah, that did kind of make sense. That tip did come in handy. Don't forget to save your money. Don't forget to be on time. Prepare for situations that you might not go through on a daily basis, but especially when you're on a layover and you're working, it's just some things that you just might need. I will have a video coming up on what I pack, like me packing my meals for a trip. I also want to have a video about what I pack for my layovers. There's some things that I pack I think is needed, essential for me now. But that's it. I hope y'all have a good day, and I'm hoping this video wasn't too long for y'all to watch, and I hope y'all learned something. So bye, see y'all next time.